Buongiorno. I realized looking in the mirror today that with a mustache, I looked like Brad Pitt from Inglourious Bastards. One of my favorite movies. Buongiorno. Um, so I've decided that I'm probably going to keep weekends to myself. This is a pretty tiring thing, especially trying to get information together and yada yada yada. Um, on top of everything else that I got going on. So I do want to help, but I also need to take care of myself too. You know what I mean? Um, so uh, a lot's a lot's always going on. Um, I do want to reiterate. Um, no, I guess say that tonight's stream is probably going to be a little bit quicker than usual, just because I'm exhausted. Long day. But there is a lot of things that have been said that have been brought to my attention. People, disagreeing and yada yada yada. And I keep telling them to come to my videos. I keep telling them, hey, I've already done the work to show you my side of things. Um, but it seems like most of them still want me to do even more work and present them even more. Um, Look, if you're choosing to stay ignorant, which is the absence of knowledge, that's on you. I have done my part. I've linked people, I've shown people. If you're watching this and you think that this is referring to you, I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I've had a lot of talks with a lot of people, hence why I'm saying this. Go back to my previous videos, watch them from episode one. Um, yes, it's bland, but I've done the work. I've tried. I am doing what I can to show you that more than likely what you believe to be true is wrong, and the reason that you believe it is simply because you aren't looking hard enough. Most people do not look hard enough. That is not a dig on you. That is just natural human mentality, which is why I try to do the best I could with the resources that I have and try to present it to you in a digestible fashion. I don't really see anyone else attempting to try to bridge that gap. So either take it for what it's worth or be lost in the sauce. And at this point, I'm starting to get tired. Um, and there is an absolute difference between misunderstanding and choosing to stay ignorant, right? So, thanks, man. I I grew it myself. Someone said they like my mustache. Um, there's an absolute difference between misunderstanding, not understanding, misunderstanding, and whatever, and coming and saying, "Hey, can you explain this? I don't understand it." And even if you don't agree, as long as you understand where that perspective is coming from, I'm all for it, right? Um, because at the end of the day, it's my perspective, my opinion, and it's also my perspective on other people's perspectives. I just think that I have a pretty decent eye on other people's perspectives, right? Um, so the reason I'm bringing this up, right, is because I'm seeing so many. There's a lot of stupid arguments out there, stupid arguments, and coming from some smart people too. Um, and it's a little ridiculous just because, again, I've done the work and I'm tired of saying the same thing over and over and over and over again. And at the end of the day, it's I've done the work. I'm not gonna keep saying the same things over and over. Um, so, and another one, it actually kind of got to me today. Old friend, not saying who or anything like that, but basically said that I wouldn't answer a question when I did answer a question. Talking, and we were talking about the First Amendment, and basically talking about it, yada yada yada, and asked for my opinion on basically with context. It was the whole Jimmy Kimmel thing, and my entire stated my point. I don't want to pull it up right now because I don't want to pull out put the person on blast. But basically, I state my opinion, and I get told you obviously don't support the First Amendment, yada yada yada. Um, you didn't even answer the question. Okay, well maybe I need to simplify this down for you. That's fine. I don't care, right? Um, which is fine, right? If you need a simple answer, I'll give you a simple answer. That's fine. Um, and then obviously I dig into it and try to change up the answer. Uh, I've been amazingly consistent. Um, it's it's it just irks me, which it shouldn't because social media doesn't really irk, but for someone apparently that's a soft spot for me is saying that I didn't answer a question. I will admit when I'm not going to answer a question. I did that today earlier. Hey, I've already done this work. I'm not trying to bait and switch you, but I've already done this, right? Um, and referring back to my videos because it was the conversation was leading down everything that I've already answered to before. So basically, if you are in that realm and you get an answer from me of like, hey, go check this out, that's because I've already established this in far more detail. And if you have questions from that, then come back and hit me up, right? So, uh, rant over. Sorry. I just had to get that off my chest. Um, I try very hard to answer questions, very hard. So yeah, shouldn't have irked me, but it did. So let's get into it for today, right? Let's see. Let me pull this up. All right. So let's see. Is it all right? So the person that I got this from is he is a hardcore liberal. Now, I preface this with I love the guy, I love him. I still consider him a good friend, and he's intelligent, right? Um, and I respect that. And anytime I ask him a question like this, he will lay out everything that he believes, right? He tries to educate. I don't agree with almost everything that he says. But with that being said, even though he is a hardcore liberal, I know that he has my back if needed. We just disagree on almost everything, right? So it's a very weird thing, but I still love the dude, right? Um, and again, we disagree on almost everything. So and I've had a few people say, "Why do you keep these people in your life?" Da 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 da. Well, because I know he still has my back at the end of the day, right? Um, it teeters like I never know if I'm gonna lose him or not. Da 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 da. But I know he's got my back at the end of the day. So yeah, I still give him absolute respect because I understand where he comes from, right? And with the information that he has, and he's like me, but on the liberal side, right? He's always ingesting information in just tons and tons and tons. Um, I just think that he loses perspective of the other side. I think that's where me and him differ. I don't think that he's able to see from different sides, which is kind of funny considering who he is. Um, but I could be wrong. Maybe there's something going on there. Maybe I should bring him on and have a very long chat with him because I think it'd be great. But the dude's busy, so who knows? All right. So this was in response to me, and I was probing him on questions, right? I was probing him, and because uh, again, this guy will always give me the straight up answer. right? He gives me the answer to the best of his ability. Hence, again, why I respect. Um, Disagree, but absolutely respect because he tries and he wrote all this out for me, right? And so I was questioning him on quite a few things, First Amendment, and then I brought up basically that I think Antifa and Black Lives Matter are terrorist organizations, which I absolutely do. And I have thought that since they even founded, right? Um, and he's going to bring up a lot of points that you would expect. However, if you are conservative, usually your view is that they're liberal. They're not going to be able to talk their side or anything like that. That is not him. He actually he has history. He has the receipts, right? He does very good, even if I don't agree. But he does very good. So for so talking about again Antifa, Black Lives Matter. First, they are not terrorist organizations. That is a view pushed by the most extreme of conservatives. Black Lives Matter refers to the continued racism towards black people, as in they are more likely to be convicted of crimes, serve longer sentences, and be less likely to recover from those actions against them. There are tens of thousands still in prison for nonviolent pot-related offenses, even though many white people who were convicted of the same offenses have been released. I'm going to read all this out and then we'll break it down. This holds true for firearms. A white person walking around with an assault rifle will be confronted peacefully by law enforcement officers, while a black man doing the same thing will experience something completely different. During the Black Panther days, and also, again, preface this, I do not know this man to lie. Just so you know. So whatever he's saying, he believes. He is not trying to deceive or anything like that, right? A white person walking around with an assault rifle. Da, 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 da. During the Black Panther days, I lived through them in San Leandro. I don't know about that. And he makes me do research too, which I appreciate. Directly adjacent to Oakland, Reagan couldn't figure out how to stop black people from having assault weapons, so he banned them statewide. That is what Black Lives Matter opposes. Anti-fascists oppose those who would turn this nation into a fascist hellhole. The default state of any thinking person is to be anti-fascist. Declaring Antifa a terrorist organization trying to stamp them out is precisely what a fascist would do. It is what Trump is trying to do now. The extremists on the right continue to push the idea that anti-fascists are somehow responsible for all of the ills of the world. Meanwhile, they are using the Department of Justice to prosecute anyone who opposes them or speaks out against them. They are fascists. The Proud Boys is a terrorist organization, just as most of the other militias around the country are more focused on white replacement theory over actual tyranny are. Notice how they are all silent right now. This administration is actively abridging the rights of legal residents and citizens' tyrannical actions, yet they remain silent. The FBI has identified extreme right-wing ideology as the greatest threat to liberty this nation faces since the 1980s. I've read the reports. I've watched as those right-wing extremists went further and further towards fascism, all while being encouraged by pundits like Limbaugh and Kirk and Carlson. The First Amendment does not protect you from the consequences of the speech you choose to use. If you choose to use racial epithets, if you choose to be disrespectful to those around you with your words, you can and will be held accountable. This includes those in the administration who lie constantly. So, woo! There's a lot there, right? Ugh. So, first, they are not terrorist organizations. That is a view pushed by the most extreme of conservatives. And again, I don't want to pull up videos. I've already pulled up more than enough videos. You're just gonna have to take me at my word and prove me wrong at this point, right? I have put this up so many different times. And if you watch those, tell me you watch those, and then you disagree, then let's talk, right? Tell me I'm pulling things out of context. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me something, right? Or just tell me I'm wrong. But unless if you're going to tell me either I'm wrong or I'm lying, this is what you get. So if you're saying like, hey, pull up the proof, then tell me I'm wrong or tell me I'm lying first, right? And explain why. All right. First, they are not terrorist organizations. That is the view pushed by the most extreme of conservatives. Absolutely, they are terrorist organizations. They aim to push political means through violence. They are domestic terror. Actually, Antifa is not domestic. They are international. They are an international terrorist organization. And I don't know why it took so long for them to be deemed as such. Black Lives Matter is the exact same way. I do not understand. So, okay, from my understanding, tell me if I am wrong, right? But I have talked to so many different people that claim that they are part of these organizations. I've talked to so many people that believe that they support them, right? And the Black Lives Matter and the Antifa, the way that it is viewed by the people that are in it is that it is an ideology, it is a goal to work towards, and the name of it represents exactly what it is. However, it goes with sounds good on paper, right? One, Black Lives Matter was a like from the very beginning, the people were trying to use and abuse it. They jumped on a opportunity and it worked out for them, right? Um, so Black Lives Matter, I understand. The premise of it is that black people had a very hard time, and that's putting it lightly. I'm Irish and native. Uh, cool. It's my ancestors. I understand. You can compare. They're not the same. You can compare, I guess. Whatever. Right. Um. However, the slavery of blacks was one ridiculous, and how do I say this? Generational experience, generational wealth is a thing. The issues that blacks have, yes, are partially due to the injustices of the past. Fully understand. It is very hard. I don't see anyone disagreeing there, right? However, where the mindset of me and a lot of the left-leaning liberals that I've talked to, um, and there's many, and they have all said the same thing, right? That's why I'm saying it like this. They have all said the same thing. The difference is, I do not believe that they need help. I believe that they are just as smart and can be just as successful because I've seen it. I've got tons of friends that are far more successful than me, running businesses and doing whatever, and they came from everything that I've had the pleasure of talking to liberals who believe this, the things that they have said. Oh, they can't. They're not smart enough to. Like, I always thought it was a joke when people were saying, "Oh, they liberals think that blacks aren't smart enough to use computers." Like, what do you mean? I thought it was a joke, but I've met them. I've met them, and they're not joking. It makes no sense, right? And just like everything else that I've been saying in all my videos past, the main issue right now is cultural, culture. That is the main issue, right? And if you want to talk about, well, the system, da 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 da, okay, we can bring up numbers. We can talk about how there's more things to help, yada yada yada, right? Um, but Black Lives Matter as an organization does does not reflect that of what it portrays whatsoever. This is an organization. There were two different things going on during like the George Floyd riots and everything like that. There was Black Lives Matter organization, and then there was people supporting Black Lives Matter, the hashtag, which was the concept. And then people got it mixed up. Black Lives Matter, the organization, which sees the opportunity, absolutely is a terrorist organization. They've killed people, they've killed a lot of people, and they have shut down discourse and they have shut down any kind of resistance until recently. Um I'm just glad that the organization itself is falling to the wayside, right? So, uh someone wants to bring up All Lives Matter. That was the also a huge fight between concepts. There was no, as far as I know, there was no organization called All Lives Matter. It was the concept. However, when people are talking about Black Lives Matter, if you aren't differentiating between the idea of Black Lives Matter or the organization, you're probably talking about both. So take the good and the bad from both, right? Um, so my view is that this was a absolute, it was an opportunity that people jumped on to get rich and cause chaos. Very smart of them. As in, more likely to be convicted of crimes, serve longer sentences, and be less likely to recover from those actions against them. Again, culture is the main issue right here. Culture, culture, culture. Um, and there are a lot of reasons that the culture is screwed up. I will say that. Absolutely. And tinfoil cap, right? That's where a lot of Ruby Ridge, things like that, you know. Um, it it's big. So if you're saying so, let me see. If you are saying that the individual is unable to be successful because of these things, you are wrong. You're wrong. That's all there is to it. You're wrong. There are tens of thousands still in prison for nonviolent pot-related offenses. Okay, we agree. Uh, I am a pretty big libertarian when it comes to this. I don't like pot. Don't like it at all. Don't want it around. Yada yada yada. However, no reason for jail. And I also understand the argument of, well, they broke the law in the first place. Well, laws can be changed. Laws that are unjust can be changed. Um, Even though many white people who were convicted of the same offenses have been released. The issue that I would bring into that is the difference of area, because it's probably locales that are doing that. So if you want to bring up nationwide, sure, but you have to look at the locales, because it's state, local governments that are the ones doing this. So look at the differences in offenses there, and then go after them. But yeah, easy. This holds true for firearms. A white person walking around with an assault rifle will be confronted peacefully by law enforcement officers, while a black man doing the same thing will experience something completely different. All right. Again, check out the locale. From the numbers that I know, if you are actually more likely to be shot if you are white. I could be wrong. I don't mind being wrong. I've seen so many different statistics and so many different things that people just take things out of context and whatever, right? But to my understanding, you are more likely to be shot and killed if you are white. It's just that there are more interactions between law enforcement and blacks. During the Black Panther days, I lived through them in San Leandro, directly adjacent to Oakland. Reagan couldn't figure out how to stop black people from having assault weapons, so he banned them statewide. That is what Black Lives Matter opposes. Whoop. Don't disagree. Actually, let me see something, because there's something I want to check out. Did Ronald Reagan create the ATF? Destroying unions. So, Act of Congress, Firearm Owners Protection Act. Okay, that's what I thought. So he didn't create the ATF, but he did create the act that, well, bans like suppressors and things like that. Pretty sure. I just skimmed over it. Um, so yeah, I don't disagree. I want capable and smart people to have weapons and defend themselves. Easy. Laws can be changed. Anti-fascists. Okay, this is the fun one. Anti-fascists oppose those who would turn this nation to a fascist hellhole. The default state of any thinking person is to be anti-fascist. All right. So, absolutely agree. However, are you the people that tend to say this in current day modern context do not take into consideration that the term fascist has been changed. So again, I've said this in previous videos. If you are saying you are anti-fascist, are you saying you're anti-actual Nazi? In which case we all agree, or are you saying anti anybody that disagrees with you? Because right now, anyone that disagrees with you in any shape or form tends to be a fascist. And we looked up how they have changed the words recently. And go back to those previous videos. I had somebody from Europe and I had somebody from America pull out actual dictionaries and read the words as I knew it. So if you're trying to use this in the current word of fascist, then yeah, we're gonna disagree because you're not using the word. You're not using the right word. We're talking two different things. Um, if you're using the original word for fascist, fully agree. The default state of any thinking person is to be anti-fascist. Fully agree, right? Um, that's where the republic comes in and yada yada yada. Um, Declaring Antifa a terrorist organization and trying to stamp them out is precisely what a fascist would do. It is what Trump is trying to do right now. All right. So the argument that I'm seeing a lot of is that Antifa is not an organization. It's an ideology. It's an idea. Okay, well, that's a lie. And you know it's a lie because people are organizing and grouping up together. You have the same, you're under a banner. Just because there's not a top-down organization does not mean it is not an organization, correct? If you want to argue otherwise, please be my guest. There is organization and coordination, very, very good organization coordination. You are able to identify each other internationally, and you are even coming to the point where you have protected yourself legally. Like, for example, the current tactic, and I think it's happened in the protests in Europe just a few days ago, where they're all wearing the exact same thing. And because, no, it must have been here in the States. I'm mixing them up. There's a few different ones going on with Antifa. Where they're wearing the exact same things, and because the states is beyond a reasonable doubt, right? You must be proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So they wear the exact same clothes, and a very smart tactic. It really is. So 50 of them go out there and cause chaos, and if the police grab a guy, all they have to do is say, "Well, how do you know it was him?" Well, he was wearing a black hoodie, blue jeans, goggles. But weren't 50 other people wearing that? Yes, then how do you know? Well, I saw him. Okay, done. That doesn't count. Doesn't work. Bye bye. Oh, we got it on camera. Okay, well, somebody ran in front of that camera and then maybe they swapped out, right? Maybe they fell over each other. Who knows? You don't know. All right, let them go. So that also changes the numbers as well. So the statistics that are pulled up, people are pulling up a lot of statistics saying, "Oh, there's no political violence from the left, yada yada yada." One, I have eyes, right? I've experienced it myself. I've experienced it myself. However, I would I would be very hard pressed to find anyone that's experienced actual violence from my side. And if they're claiming it to be my side, more than likely that person wasn't my side. So, however, the opposite is not true. The people that would do harm to me are on your side. They have the same beliefs, and you would hold them in your company. Whereas the people that, if they do violence to you, more than likely I'm not going to hold them in my company. Because the people that would do violence on my side, it's in self defense. It's lawful and to save someone's life. Complete difference, not to shut down conversation. So Um. All right. Antifa is absolutely a terrorist organization. The extremists on the right continue to push the idea that anti-fascists are somehow responsible for all the ills of the world. Meanwhile, they are using the Department of Justice to prosecute any who oppose them or speaks out against them. I believe that he believes this. Um, there are many issues with them. They are fascists. No, they're not. There's there's arguments that could be said for some of the things that they do, but they are not. Proud Boys is a terrorist organization, just as most of the other militias around the country are more focused on white replacement theory over actual tyranny. I actually need to do more research into this white replacement theory before I speak on it, because what I think it is versus what they're referencing, I'm not sure. My guess is the allowing illegal immigration due to the population collapse, which population collapse is a giant ordeal right now. Proud Boys is a terrorist organization. I don't know where they get that. If if there's things that I didn't see much, I saw some fights, but I didn't see anything that would actually be considered terrorism from them. Um, I don't know much on this. Uh, all I know is that this doesn't sound right to me. It doesn't mean that it isn't right. Notice how all of them are silent right now. This administration is actively abridging the rights of legal residents and citizens, tyrannical actions, yet they remain silent. I'm pretty sure who sent this also advocates for illegal residents. But again, he believes this, and there are some things that I'm seeing that can't be wrong if part of it's right. Appreciate you, brother. I grew it myself. Another person said they love the stash. Buongiorno. Um, the FBI has identified extreme right-wing ideology as the greatest threat to liberty this nation faces since the 1980s. I've read the reports. I watched as those right-wing extremists went further and further towards fascism, all while being encouraged by pundits like Limbaugh and Kirk and Carlson. My argument to this is I would probably surmise that this is the same people that have been putting us into the position that we are in, and the intellectuals, right? The people that hold positions, and then the positions get to their head, and then the ideology kicks in. Um, I 100% believe that whatever was read was absolutely biased and was obviously biased. As you read this, I fully believe that you saw what you wanted to see because that's how it was written. Um, all while being encouraged by pundits like Limbaugh, oh, okay, yeah, and Kirk and Carlson. This is where you lose me. Um, Charlie Kirk, absolutely not. Tucker Carlson, somewhat, but he's skeptical of everything. So you lose me there. Limbaugh, yeah, okay. Um, and this one shows me that you don't understand who he was, right? Again, refer to the previous videos. Carlson, Tucker Carlson, again, I probably would have agreed with you 8 years ago. The Tucker Carlson that I see today, I absolutely love. And there's not much that, again, I respect him because of the work he does. And especially nowadays, it seems like he holds pretty much all the same positions that I do. Um, and I believe I'm a reasonable person. Um, so you'd have to show me why you think Tucker Carlson is at this point. Charlie Kirk, you're wrong. End of story. You got to accept it. And if you don't accept it after seeing the evidence presented to you, then that means that you just want your ideology to prevail. You are not open to dialogue. You are not open to discourse. You are not open to being wrong. I am. I'm open to be completely wrong. However, I'm not. Um, I've brought up multiple things where I don't know in just this, right? Completely open to being wrong. Um, so I've read the reports. Again, the person that wrote this, I believe that they believe this, and they are very intelligent. Hence why they're able to uh, explain all this, right? Um, so again, and I believe that he has read the reports. I fully believe him. He just sits there and absorbs information like I do. It's just we don't agree on things. All right. The First Amendment does not protect you from the consequences of the speech you choose to use. If you choose to use racial epithets, if you choose to be disrespectful to those around you with your words, you can and will be held accountable. Yeah, fully agree. Um, Companies should be able to fire, and this goes back into my rant in the very beginning. He agrees with me. If a company doesn't want to hire you or keep you on, they don't need to. Bye bye. If you say something they don't like, bye bye. If you're supposed to be a professional and you're saying unprofessional things, unprofessional people do not need to be in professional positions. Bye bye. Um, the First Amendment protects you from being arrested. It does not protect you from the consequences of the free market or anything like that. If a like the gay wedding cake and the baker, right? Um, it was absolutely within that couple's right to say, hey, he's not gonna make this cake for me. The dude apparently was willing to make a cake, he just wasn't willing to make a gay cake, right? And then like do what you want with it after. But anyone should be able to refuse service for just about anything. I don't see like look, if a racist wants to open up a business, let them. If they don't want to serve to a large portion of the population, then hey, what's up, brother? Um, if a racist wants to open up a business, let them. What's the issue? They're investing money and it's going to get lost. They're ostracizing a huge basic clientele. Let them. Like just don't go there. It's not that bad. It's not that hard. And you don't need to go over there and beat them. Just leave them to their own devices. You don't need to shop there. They don't need to sell to you. Like it's literally that easy. They're probably going to go out of business anyways. Racists usually aren't smart. I don't know. I have never met a racist that was at all intelligent, as far as I know. And if they were intelligent, they were good at hiding it. So, I mean, think about it. Like, have any of you met an intelligent racist? Like an actual racist? Or have you just met somebody that you're calling racist, but they're not? There's a huge difference, right? So leave them to their own devices. If they only want to sell to white people, then they're losing so much of clientele and profits, and they're probably going to go out of business anyways. And then they're going to declare bankruptcy, and then their entire credit's going to get hurt, and yada yada yada. It's going to be great. Bye bye. Like natural law kicks in at that point. You don't need to resort to violence for it either. And they're probably gonna be miserable. Welcome to America. You can be racist in other countries. Other countries are racist. They're racist like crazy. But in America, I don't see how you can be successful and racist. It's just not a thing. It's not. So I highly appreciate um you for if you see this. I hope you do. Um, I highly appreciate you for laying this out. Um, I really do. Uh, Obviously, I disagree. I understand why you say this, and I appreciate you for laying it out for me. I really do. Um, I am curious about. I lived through them in San Leandro, directly adjacent to Oakland. Um, I am very curious about these experiences because I don't know much about Black Panthers. I've read, but I don't know. Um, and I can see some like histories written by the victor in there. You know what I mean? So I know that there's a lot of things that I'm missing that I would like to know because, yeah, maybe I shouldn't say that on stream. So yeah, that being said, I just want to go through a few things real quick. Um, Again, you could call this propaganda, but I know it to be true. So here's some propaganda. I've sat through over 50 hours of Charlie Kirk's videos as an ethnically black American. Not one racist word, not one. What Democrats do is cut snippets, strip context, and shove sound bites at the same gullible slop audience too lazy to fact check. That isn't exposing racism, it's manufacturing lies to spark division. Now, fully 100% agree, and that's why I was so frustrated when I first see you, brother. Um, I see this all the time, and it's what I was going on a rant about earlier, right? Now, the issue is that our side likes to send this as evidence. This is not evidence. It's not. Uh, it makes sense to you and me, but it doesn't make sense to them. So, this doesn't help. It, I wish it did. And apparently the video that I made has helped some, but I don't think the ones that it actually helped were lost anyways. So, on to the next. All right. So, apparently RFK Jr. I don't understand what. Can somebody explain to me why they hate RFK Jr. so much? Um, I like him. I don't. The things that I've seen them say about him are untrue. So I want to find out what is true and why they would hate him so much. Um, but the dude's old, and oh, he was a drug addict. You can't play those games. You can't. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Um, so I mean, he looks dead here. He looks like Jesus. Um, but I like what he's doing. Um, Now, my my side of this is I am a true believer in natural medicine when it comes to the small things, and Western medicine when it comes to the major things, right? What is it? Aloe vera for sunburns, but penicillin for like the massive. I can't even think of, you know. If you need surgery, you need surgery. Aloe vera is not going to help if you need surgery, right? But the medications that we take, especially as Americans, it's it's bad for us. Too much of it's too bad for us. Our bodies need just natural stuff, and we really need to get that through our heads. Like I said, I don't want to go through all the videos. I'm just gonna talk through, and then if anything like is interesting to any of you guys, we'll bring it up later, just not tonight. Um, Erica Kirk forgives, the feds forget. So Candace Owens is going on a rampage. It's pretty crazy to watch. And watching Erica's speech, we'll probably do that tomorrow. That hurt. It really hurt. It was really good. Alex Stein. So someone brought up an idea, a point to me yesterday that Alex Stein pretends to be Charlie Kirk sometimes and says all the things that, and worse, that you guys are quoting. He says these things. So it is absolutely reasonable to assume that they've seen some videos of Alex Stein pretending to be Charlie Kirk and ran with it because he pretends to be Charlie Kirk. They joke about it all the time. Um, but the evidence that you guys have brought forth and tried to show me is not that. It is not that at all. So the evidence that you bring to me is completely out of context and just it's stupid, right? Alex Stein, if you need a laugh, he's hilarious. It's great. Pretty excited about this. The Twitch Reddit CEOs are getting called to testify to Congress about all the radicalization of the left. Really excited to see how that goes. Democrat arrested for shooting up ABC station over Jimmy Kimmel. The station got shot up, and now they're reinstating Jimmy Kimmel. Obviously, probably due to public backlash. I am pretty sure that they just use this as a reason to fire him because talk shows are a thing of the past. So, whatever. Charlie Kirk deleted this debate with a vegan. If you guys want, I'm giving you fodder. I'm giving you this fodder. I don't know if he actually deleted the debate or anything like that. Where I watched most of this, it's kind of boring. And he's talking to another conservative, but it's a vegan conservative, and talking about veganism. And Charlie Kirk's kind of a dick. So it's like this guy's just harping on my feelings the entire time. But this is the closest that I've seen Charlie Kirk to being a total dick, which, yeah. But really, it's not that bad. So that's a freebie. That's a free layup. There you go. Charlie Kirk deleted this debate with a vegan, David Rams. I just realized that my thing's been covering this up. We should not defend leftists who seek to infringe upon our rights. He goes on a little rant. Tim Pool, he is actually a leftist. He's just found her home on the right. Because the left just doesn't. They're insane at this point. Fully agree, and it goes back to the why aren't you saying anything about when this happens to us now? Well, you didn't say anything when it was happening to me or my people before. Just desserts. I don't care. That is a fight for other people. If I see it being more than just a situational thing, then yeah, I'll stand up. But you absolutely deserve everything that's coming to you right now. Absolutely. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, y'all. You guys went too far. You went too far, and you legitimately do not realize it. Do we want funny things? I'm tired. I'm gonna do this one video. This guy's absolutely hilarious.
Stop! Don't scroll. This video might help you. It might save your life. Here are 4 signs.
Anyways, LC Sign has inspection standards and methods for supplier-provided raw materials and parts.
Have you ever noticed if a girl really likes you, she'll ignore you?
Damn, every girl likes me. Anyways, LC Sign is doing in-process quality control, a standard process for many years.
I heard you didn't give pretty girls tickets.
We don't. Sign here.
Anyways, this style is very popular now. Put it in your storefront and make your business great again.
Not date trans women if you are not going to treat us like the queens that we are. I'm so serious. Leave us alone.
Shut up. Anyways, do you know what are good LED modules? This is a backlit sign with solid acrylic in the back.
My husband got me, my little sister, and my best friend pregnant all at this.
Anyways, check out this LED sign made by LC Sign. High quality facelift light box.
Hey, what would you do if we broke into your house?
Anyways, we have professional sales representatives to serve you. What's up, homie? I'm telling you, check out this affordable light box. It's less than 1 centimeter thick, but very strong. It looks good, hang in the store too. We can make it rechargeable. Probably not, you know what I'm saying? Probably not. Like, she's gone. She's gone for real. Low key, she's gone. Like Matt, gone. No cap. Anyways, if you need a sign, go for a company that has continuous improvement and traceable system.
There's no such thing as non-binary. And yet I exist. Funny that.
What? Anyways, LC Sign is committed to providing every product with an eco-friendly, secure, and sturdy packaging solution.
No.
I ain't gonna do that. Anyways, you need to beat the store next door with a better LED sign.
There's 3 reasons why I wouldn't be a good waifu. Number 1, I'm shy.
Anyways, your business need a professional LED sign manufacturer. Inbox us or find out our email in our bio.
Love it when my man farts in my face. I don't know what it is, but I love it when that little hole talks back to me.
Don't post that shit. Anyways, a good sign doesn't just light up your brand, it makes it last. China, China, China. If the USA is great again, then why did someone invented a USB? Actually, this is our A-frame acrylic light box. Writing board. Friendly for store owners to attract more customers. Put it in front of your store, just simply highlighter, and you can make your business great again. Can you believe that? LC Sign ships worldwide and no MOQ. WhatsApp number is in bio for free quote. And don't forget to follow LC Sign.
So, so if you don't know, he's pretty great. Tony, he's always promoting his little sign company. It's pretty funny. I think he's from China. He just goes after the woke culture just hilariously. It's absolutely worth it. So I just wanted to keep tonight short because I am exhausted.